Woohoo! We are live. This is Math 40 Elementary Algebra, and we are in 2.7. 2 points. Wait, let me do it. 7. Yay! We're solving inequalities. This is part 3. Now we're actually going to work on some much more complicated problems. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll remind you that when solving inequalities, you want to approach them just like you would approach equalities or equations. So in other words, with this first one, 4 is less than negative 4 times the quantity x minus 2. In order to solve this at all, I have to simplify. So let me work on simplifying. Simplify. So in other words, I'm going to multiply through by the negative 4. Now, I'm not doing this to both sides. I'm just simplifying on one side. And if it's not something I'm bringing in that's new, I don't change the inequality. So 4 is less than negative 4x. And then remember, negative 4 times a negative 2. Do I have my Bat Brothers? Oh, my Bat Brothers were up partying all night. I've got one Bat Brother. Only one Bat Brother. Okay, I will have to work with the one Bat Brother we have. So here's the stand-in Bat Brother. 2 minuses in a row turn into a what? Oh, yes, a plus. 2 minuses become a plus. I wonder where his brother is. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. Woohoo? Woohoo. Fun fact, most bats are actually a lot safer than people realize, and they are endangered in many areas, and you should not grab them, but they generally don't harm you. Of course, if you are a juicy piece of fruit, you might want to run. Okay, so I've got this inequality. 4 is less than negative 4x plus 8, and I want to solve for x. I have a negative 4x, which makes me sad. I don't want to deal with this, so I'm going to show you a workaround. I'm actually going to add 4x to both sides. Now, what will this do? Well, this will actually give me an x on the left, which will make it nice when I'm solving. 4x plus 4, there's the 4, is less than 8. Remember, when you're adding, you can only combine terms that match. So the negative 4x plus 4x, that canceled to 0. The 4 and the 4x, they're not the same thing, so you have to write them separately. But now that my x is on the left, it's going to be a lot easier. And notice this is a positive 4 in front of x. So this is just a quick trick for getting your x to be positive without having to worry about dividing or multiplying by a negative number. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, and I'll remind you that subtraction, if you put Loki and the Hulk into a ditch, the Hulk is still bigger than Loki. So if we subtract from both sides, I get 4x is less than 4. Put this up here. 4x is less than 4, and I have to divide by 4. 4x over 4. 4 over 4. And remember, if I'm dividing by 4, the inequality does not change. It's only if I multiply or divide by a negative. So I've got x is less than 1. Woohoo! So far, so good. Shall we try another one? Notice I did something interesting here. What? I know, it's pretty exciting. Notice that I have 2 inequalities. Wow, that is complicated, huh? So I've got 4 is less than negative 4 times the quantity x minus 2 is less than 20. You see how the x's terms are on the inside and there are numbers on the outside? Unfortunately, in this kind of a problem, the x has to stay inside. So let me show you how to deal with this. First thing I should do, that was exciting. First thing I should do is multiply out. So I'm going to multiply out. And remember, if you're just simplifying, if you're just multiplying out, you don't change any inequality. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 2 is plus 8. Now, I'm not allowed, like I did up here, to add 4x because that would spread the x's to all sides. Notice that there's 1, 2, 3 sides here. 1, 2, 3 sides. inequality here, inequality here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 8. Now, how many times am I going to subtract 8? I'm going to subtract 8 3 times. There's a minus 8 over here and a minus 8 over here. Okay, what's 4 minus 8? Negative 4. This is subtraction, so the inequalities do not change. What's 20 minus 8? Is 12. And in the middle, I cancel out the 8s and I get negative 4x. Okay, are you ready for the next step? It's very exciting. I'm going to take that negative 4x and I'm going to divide by a negative 4. Now, I'm dividing by a negative. And in this step, I turn that inequality around and I turn this inequality around. Negative 4 over negative 4 is 1, is greater than x is greater than negative 3. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is a true statement. It is an inequality. However, you notice how the small number is not on the left, it's on the right, and the big number, which is 1, is on the left. So this kind of goes backwards. Take the whole thing and turn it around. So what starts? The negative 3. The x is still in the middle, and the 1 is still on the outside, on the right. However, what are we going to do? The alligator wants to eat the 1, so we keep it eating the 1. Here, between the negative 3 and the x, the alligator wants to eat the x. Let's keep it going. So I took the whole thing and I turned it around. Woohoo! Awesome. Now I know everyone's breathing and grab your support animal if this is one of the Bat Brothers for you, one of those friendly little bats that you should not pet but should admire and think are awesome. I'll bring in my sparkly vampire, can't hurt. Who else wants to show up? Ooh, Spider wants to come. I've got a spider here who wants to show up. Okay, so I got my support animals because I'm going to do fractions. 3x minus 10 all over 5 is less than or equal to x plus 4. What do you think so far? So far, okay? Woohoo! So now, what should I do? Well, you've got a couple options. One is, if you don't mind fractions, leave the fractions in. You can solve this with fractions. I'm looking at this going, wow, this is a lot. And I see that I have a single fraction down here, the 5. So what if I were to clear fractions, which you're allowed to do with an inequality, using a positive number? You can only use the positive number. If you clear fractions using a negative, you're going to have to go changing the inequalities. So think hard before you do that. I'm going to use positive 5. So I'm going to say 5 over 1 times 3x minus 10 all over 5. Because it's a positive number, I'm not changing the inequality. 5 times x and 5 times 4. So take a look at it here. I've got a 5 right there. 5 over 1. I've got a 5 right here, and I've got a 5 right here. So I've cleared fractions using 5. Do I have my red pen? Cancel this 5 with this 5. I leave 1, so I've got 3x minus 10 is less than or equal to 5x plus 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, what do you think? I personally think this is a much friendlier situation than this one, right? Ugh, this one's a little bit intimidating, much friendlier. Okay, so what do we do now? Well, what if I go ahead and move the x's onto the left? I'm just thinking, hey, why don't I just move the x's onto the left? So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. Okay, uh-oh. Now I got negative 2x minus 10. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not thrilled about that, but I've got my support staff here, my not support staff, my support circle, my supportive friends by me, and they're going to help me out. They're going to remind me that I can do this. There is no math that can hurt you, right? The math, you turn it over and what math? So let's give it a try though. Okay, I got a negative. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm going to forge ahead. So I've got minus 10 here. Let me add 10 to both sides. That's relatively safe. Negative 2x is less than or equal to 30. Okay, you can do it. You can do it. We can do it. You guys ready? We can totally do this. I'm going to divide by a negative 2. Do it on the left. I'm going to divide by a negative 2 on the right. When I divide, I take the inequality and I flip it around. Even if it's greater than or equal to. I flip that around. So now I've got 1 is greater than or equal to negative 15. Now, since we've got a couple of minutes, this video is only 11 minutes long. So I'm going to do something special. I'm going to do some free bonus math for you. And I think I need some help. I'm going to bring in some awesome friends to help me out here. And I'm going to say another method. And another method, I'm going to start from here. So if I have 3x minus 10 is less than or equal to 5x plus 20. Okay, so this is number 6, but another method. So what I'm doing is I'm not clearing the fractions. We did that here. I'm going to start from right here and see if I can give you, everyone wants to do math. There we go. Nice. I'm going to show you another way to approach this. And the other way I'm going to show you is if I subtract 5x, I'm going to end up with a negative number in front of x. I don't like that. There are more x's on the right. I'm going to move all the x's to the right. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So on the left, I've got negative 10 is less than or equal to 2x plus 20. Okay, so far so good. Now the x is on the right. That's kind of frustrating, but it's positive. So that's good. Next thing, I'm going to subtract. No, I'm not. What? Is that another Tyrannosaurus? Look, a T-Rex walking right by your window. I don't know how I can see that far, but oh, was I wrong? Thought there wasn't really a T-Rex? Okay, never mind. Maybe it was a pterodactyl. So I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides. And I'm going to get negative 30 over here is less than or equal to 2x. Now, at this point, a lot of people would say to me, wait a minute, you're getting completely different answers. And the answer I would give them is, yes, the middle of a problem will look really different. If you use 2 different techniques, you will get 2 different middles. But the beginning and the end will match. So we just got to keep going with this. Next step, I want to get x by itself. So again, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. The difference here is since this is dividing by a positive, it's a positive number, I don't change the inequality. No reason to. The only time you change the inequality is when you divide by a negative. You flip the inequality. So that was the previous one that we just did. The one that we're doing right now, I'm dividing both sides by 2. No big deal. Okay, so over here I get negative 15 is less than or equal to x. And that is the correct answer. The thing is this is facing a goofy way. We don't generally answer inequalities with x on the right. So again, what I'm going to encourage you to do is imagine you're going to flip it over and write the mirror image of this. So I'm going to start with x, and then I'm going to preserve the order, which means, see how the alligator is open towards the x? When I write the X here, the alligator opens its mouth towards the X still. Okay, let's compare. Let's see if we got to the same answer. Oh my goodness, look at that. Even the same handwriting. What are the chances? You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing and wonderful. You can totally do this. I've got some math. I've got a spider. Okay, anyway, that wasn't going to go anywhere well. So this is the end of the lecture on solving inequalities. Go ahead and give it a try. Inequalities can be tricksy, they can be frustrating. Remember that you should never spend more than half an hour on any of your problems. If you're up around a half an hour and you're just frustrated and it's not working, reach out, talk to a tutor, talk to other classmates, talk to your parents, your children. It's possible if you want to talk to your pastor, your priest, if you have a rabbi, ask all of these people. And then if you run out of other people, you can always come and ask me too. I very rarely eat students alive. I really am, I'm generally speaking a vegetarian. So usually students survive asking me questions, usually. So it's worth taking your chances, but otherwise have fun with solving inequalities. And I will see you guys in the next video, and I believe it's all about lines. Math on, guys.